ladies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing another Military Monday, and today's topic is going to be about board prep. If you haven't been here before, welcome to my channel. My name is Sweets Galore, aka Sweets, or aka Staff Sergeant Baker. For those that don't know, I've been in the military about 10 years now. I've been active duty for 8 years, reservist for 2. So I do this series on my channel where I talk about military related content. And at the end of my video, if you guys are interested in me talking about something else, all you have to do is comment down below, and I'll be happy to talk about it in my next Military Monday. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so I had this question asked to me on TikTok. Actually, I have a little TikTok, y'all, and they asked me, hey, can you give me some advice on how to prep for the board? So this is going to be a pretty short video, but however, this is what I do for board prep. One, I went into Army Study Guide, and this is what works for me. It might necessarily work for you, but it's a tip. So I go into Army Study Guide, and Army Study Guide usually has, well, usually you get an MOI from your S1, what's going to be in the board. So following your MOI, I go into Army Study Guide. I go to each of the topics that are on my MOI, and I print out every last flashcard that is on the MOI. I mean, that's on the Army Study Guide. And I cut them up, and I make basically my flashcards for every section. So you got military justice, you got the Army, you got land nav or weapons or custom and courtesies, AR-67-1, whatever the case may be. Print those all out, right? And what I did was I studied every card on Army Study Guide. Like, I don't care if it was the stack of flashcards was this big. I knew every flashcard on Army Study Guide verbatim. I could tell you exactly what it said from the book. But that's how I study. I have to do flashcards. Flashcards is like my like cup of tea. I don't know. Some people like to write. You know, I have to do flashcards, and I do flashcards over and over again. And also, I feel like going to the board necessarily shouldn't be something that your NCO makes you do. I feel like you're going to be better prepared for it when you decide, which is not always the case. Sometimes you get thrown. But when you decide, I'm going to the board, you're going to take it more seriously. You're going to be more passionate about it. You're going to be more driven to do it, rather than when an NCO just says, hey, you're doing it. You kind of get like, I don't want to do it, I'm not really going to study. So I feel like if becoming or the Army is something that you want to do or something that you want to stay in, take your career in your own hands, right? And feel like, you know what? I want to go to the board. I'm telling my sergeant, I want to go to the board. I'm a specialist. I'm ready, right? I'm ready to be a sergeant. So then you'll be more driven, more motivated, more dedicated to like studying because you want it. You want it. But yeah, I went on Army Study Guide. I studied every question they had on Army Study Guide. I studied for about a month before so the month prior to the board, or maybe even a month and a half before the board, I was studying because I'm like, I'm not going to the board failing. I'm not going to the board failing. When I went to my board, I got no questions wrong. No questions wrong. Only question I messed up on, the Sergeant Major asked me who was the brigade Sergeant Major, and I actually said the brigade commander, even though I knew the answer. So I said the right brigade commander, but I thought he said commander, and he said Sergeant Major. It's the only question that I got wrong. Oh, actually, I'm lying. And they asked me what was mission command, and I couldn't answer the question. I know that verbatim because my board is very traumatic. However, yeah, I passed, and I got my P status the first time I went to the board. But yeah, that's basically what I did. And like I said, I had no questions wrong. And as far as like when it comes to board etiquette, everybody always tells you to be confident. That is a big one. Be confident when you go into the board. Comes off as not confident, and sometimes, a lot of times, they will vote you not to get your P status because your confidence level wasn't there. Also, you really need to study your AR. So maybe you didn't know the question to one of the regulations in AR-67-1, so regulation, blah, 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 right? So maybe you didn't know that, but you can say, oh, but at this time, Sergeant Major, or at this time, first time, I'm not aware of that answer, but I know I could check AR-67-1. Like, at least know the regulation of what is pertaining to the question. So I'm like, drill really heavy on each regulation that's on your MOI, so that, like I said, you can reference back to like, I don't know this, but I know this. I don't know that, but I know this, right? Have your sergeants, have your platoon sergeant, have, you know, your battle buddies all set up a mock board. Have 4 or 5 people on a mock board, do the whole knock on the door, walk in, so that you can get more comfortable, especially some people who have never been to a soldier in a mock board or things of that nature. This will be your first board, you're nervous, you should do a lot of mock boards, so that way you can get comfortable on board etiquette, how to sit, how to stand, how to talk, how to march, how to do your about face, like under pressure a little bit. So I definitely feel like mock boards is like unnecessary thing. Like, your sergeant shouldn't even let you go to the board without the mock board, so you got to see at least where your soldier is at. So like, if your NCOs aren't doing it, ask them, can they do your mock board? But I actually write down questions from your MOI. If your sergeants aren't helping you necessarily with the board, and have your battle buddies do it, get some specialists. I feel like if your NCO is not really invested in you, go to the board and you get your battle buddies and y'all do a mock board, you know, so you're prepared for your board and stuff like that. Yeah, basically be confident, know your NCO creed, know the soldier's creed, know your regulations, practice. Make sure you study, and pretty much, I mean, that's it. Be confident and, you know, own the room. You know what I'm saying? Own the room. And you should walk out there with your peace status. You just gotta study. Y'all gotta study. You gotta study. That's the number one thing. Study, be confident, and go to have mock boards so that way you know how to yes, sergeant major, no sergeant major. You know what I'm saying? How to respond to like the board members so that way you're not like, yeah, I don't know, know how to talk. Like, I don't know the answer at this time. Also, make sure you practice your bio. That's about you. That's you. That's who you are. So don't over stress the bio. Know your bio. Know current event. You know what I'm saying? And you should be good to go. You know, if you guys have any more questions, make sure you comment down below. And thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Military Monday. Bye.